Welcome back to YourTown television program and this month's segment of Artivism, where we're particularly this month looking at art head on and how how we enjoy it and how it informs us as human beings and as well as community members moving forward to actually stand up to injustices. And I'm really happy. We've had dance, we've had visual art, we've had the written word. And in our third segment, we've got Alex Vasquez, who is a musician, singer, songwriter. And Alex, hey, we need music.
Yeah, desperately, sure.
Well, thank you for being a part of our show. And, you know, Alex also is a part of our show all the time because he's also a producer and director here at AMP. And so Chuck Banner's running the board for us this go around, but so many times it's you running the board.
Yeah, it's different being out in front.
Yeah. Well,
usually behind the camera.
It's nice to have you out front, and I know with your, you know, this performer that plays live music that I know, he says, well, when you're up there as a musician, oh no, you're not a person, you're a musician. You're
Right.
bigger than a person.
Right,
so
right.
Here we are in front of the camera.
Right.
So, you know. So you have a group here, duo by the name of Memory Lane.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Memory Lane, how it came together, how it kind of, I know you sometimes will have other players play with you and sometimes the same ones, and so.
Yeah. I've played music, you know, all my life, but and with this one fella, Jim Smith, we have known each other and played music together for 43 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and there was about 2 or 3 years that we kind of lost contact. You know, we kind of went in some different directions. But when we got back together again, we started playing, and we called it Memory Lane. You know, we just looking back at Memory Lane and everything. And of course, then we played the songs that everybody remembers. You know, the great songs of the '60s. So it doesn't matter where we play. People remember the songs. As a matter of fact, we played just last weekend. We played at this place in Carmel Plaza called the Bistro Beaujolais.
Okay.
And it was really great because we had a table of about 8 kids who might have been in their 30s, maybe. And they were singing out all the words, man, real loud. They were singing, and they were requesting songs.
Yes.
And it was great.
Well, this brings to mind to me, you know, you talk about playing the great songs of the 60s.
Right.
And that's what, it makes perfect sense, I'm sure, to our viewers as well, that of course those would be the songs that you played.
Right.
And they're still, the name of your group may be Memory Lane, but they're current day songs as well. So what came out of the 60s? What's going on with the 60s? Why the 60s in that music?
Well, that creativity, I think. I mean, there's so much behind all that music. You know, you listen to the lyrics, and I think, you know, we've talked something in the notes about protest songs and this kind of thing. And of course, that came out of the 60s, the protest. But along with the protest were all the love songs and all the great just songs that, of course, they have all the one-hit wonders that came out that were great songs that we remember today. You know, and the thing is that all those songs, like you said, are being played today on the radio.
Yes, they are.
On the media. They're used in commercials all the time.
All the time.
Why? Because they're great songs. They're great lyrics, and you remember the melodies.
So what makes a great lyric, a great melody?
Well, they call it the hook.
Okay.
Right? It's
All right.
the hook. It's just like in the poem, you know,
Yes.
you have that meat that you want someone to really get. You know? And so I think that's, in a lyric, it's the hook.
Yes.
And it's the one that you walk away with and you kind of can hum to yourself and remember that hook line, you know. You may not remember the whole thing, but you can remember that one line that just got you.
It stays with you.
Yeah, it just stays with you. And you know, of course, now it's what we were doing at the time that we heard those songs.
Yes.
I mean, you and I think, are at the age that we were there when those songs came out.
We were there.
So, of course, it relates to something we were doing, somewhere we were at, some function, some party, some concert.
It connects.
Yeah, so then that just brings us back to that happy memory, hopefully.
Yes. So it's both. It's interesting because they're songs that are still current today.
Right.
And I love what you said about love songs because in the 60s, the songwriters were not afraid of writing about love.
Right.
They weren't
No.
so ultra sophisticated that they couldn't write about love.
No, no.
Yeah, so.
And that creativity factor, I mean, you think of the Beatles and that time frame of them coming out. Where did they get all that creativity, man?
Yes.
I have not heard a Beatles song I don't like.
Yes.
And there's, I mean, we're talking hundreds of songs.
Yes.
And then you get into the 80s and that, and there's some guys like David Bowie, who I read a little thing on, that said he would take a magazine and just go through the magazine and just cut out, the little header or whatever the thing was, and he just cut all these things out and put them into a bowl. And then he'd pull them out one at a time, and he'd paste them, and he would sing whatever it came out.
Wow.
He just made up some, some groove or something, some rock thing, and they just started singing these lyrics that had nothing to do with each other, but somehow sold it. So again,
well, hey, it's a reflection of what's going on around him in the culture.
At that time,
with his creativity overlaid into that. I mean, it makes me think of, as a poet. I use many different methods to write poetry, but one is just to take a day and write different things down about as you see something, or read, or you see a sign, or somebody do something, or something in nature. Write it down and go write a poem that evening that has everything in there. And what happens is there's a thread that you put into the poem, to tie those things together, and you find that so buoy. So there have been musicians that have pushed the envelope all through in every era, 60s, 70s, 80s, on up to today, and certainly all before. But there are times where things just kind of explode with creativity, and I think the 60s were part of that, and that's why so many of the songs are applied. So how do you guys? So how do you guys decide on a set list? Do you have a set list? Do you talk it over as you go along? What goes into your set list?
I didn't bring it with me, and I should have brought it, but anyway, I have a book, and it's called The Memory Lane Musical Menu.
All right.
And it's a little book like the size of that, and it has 6 pages of songs.
Yes.
So I put those out on the tables, and I say, okay, I have a book. Anybody interested? And so it catches on real quick.
Yes.
And so then people are like, yeah, give me a book. I want a book. So then they look at the book and start yelling out what songs they want to hear.
That's fabulous.
That way, it's
they're the songs you know.
It's not the hit and miss because Inagata da Vida, or it's like, is it on the list?
Yeah.
It's not on the list. We don't do it.
Yeah.
So it works like great, and
cool.
we never get anywhere near through the list.
No.
And the fun thing too is that you end up doing one song 3 times because people will rotate as they come in and out of a gig or a restaurant or something. And so the first one will come in and say, Brown Eyed Girl.
Yes.
And then, after they leave, somebody else comes in and says, Brown Eyed Girl. So, okay, sure, So we get through Brown Eyed Girl at least 3 times.
I hear you. So that brings up a question in my mind. How do you, when you're playing covers, how do you keep that fresh for your performance? What do you do?
Well, it's the audience.
Okay.
It really is the audience.
Yes, beautiful.
We enjoy playing, but it's the audience that's fresh.
Okay.
And so that makes it fresh.
Every time.
Because now, it's like, oh, you're getting a response, and it's like, oh, cool. So then, that kind of helps the groove, and, just kind of
picks the song up.
Yeah, it really does. So it really does have a lot to do with people and how they respond.
What keeps it fresh is that audience out there. That's lovely. So you're also a songwriter, and you also do your own. And you're gonna, if you would, a little later, would you play something that is yours for us?
Sure. If we have time.
If we have time, okay.
Great.
But talk to me now about your creative process. How do you get us from a kernel of an idea to a song? Do you do the music first and the lyrics second, or the lyrics first, the music second, or does it switch around depending on what you get?
As a creator, like yourself. They all come different ways, don't they?
Yes.
So I've been driving a car where I've had the radio kind of going, but I can't really hear because I have the window open. But out of it, I'll hear, hey, I heard a different melody than the song that was playing. Because then when I turn it up, I think, well, that's not even close to what they're playing. But the melody that I heard is in my head.
You created.
And then I'll tell you, boys, cell phones are really horrible. But to be able to use them as a device that you sing into, and capture
and just get it down right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
An idea right now. It's either a melody or a lyric or something. So I sing into that thing right now. And I record
yes, that's wonderful.
and then of course if you get a lyric, then I type it in, even if it's 3 words.
Just the basic of it.
The basic idea. And then you just kind of build on there. So some as poetry takes a while to get through the process of coming to the end.
Refining it.
Yeah, sure. And then sometimes, as they say, something just kind of comes to you and you get it.
Do you work with Jim or James Lesage and collaborating to write new stuff?
No.
Okay.
No,
you write alone.
I write alone.
That's cool.
And it is not that I wouldn't be opposed to it. We've never done it.
You've never done it. Yeah,
We've just never. And James is a great writer in his own right. And Jim also is a great writer.
Do you find yourself sometimes sitting in your living room or wherever you got your guitar and you're working something and just kind of you work out something?
Oh, absolutely.
Right there, and it becomes you expand it into a
sure.
song. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I know you've got a clip here of some of your work with Memory Lane, and I'd like for the audience, the viewing audience, to be able to enjoy this and see kind of what you're up to.
Great.
Maybe we could go to that clip right now.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go to that clip and enjoy some Alex Vasquez's music.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Peaceful, I know you won't let me go. Let tomorrow be.
I really enjoyed that clip, and it gave me some sense of the different venues you play, so you play for clubs, you play at eating establishments, private parties.
Yeah, we do that all.
And I know there at the end you and James Lesage, so you had Jim Smith at the first, and then James Lesage also played with you, and you guys will do some retirement centers as well, and that's cool. That's right. I mean, it's really.
I say we play at grand openings and foreclosures.
That's it. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Exactly. Crying in my beer, and with it. So you've got, if you would, I know you suited up to play a song for us, and maybe play one of yours, or maybe some snippets of some of your songs.
Sure. I'll play this. trust in some people, that's understood. And my luck is not very good. Stay on the ground, 'cause I won't fly. But on your love, baby, I can rely. 'Cause I know, baby, you'll be with me tonight. Yeah, I know you'll be holding me tight. In my mind I see two. One is me and the other is you. I need your love, baby, I must confess. I really think that you're the best from the rest. You bring me happiness.
Thanks for that riff. All I want to know is what was her name?
Yeah, right.
yeah. All right, I'm not getting that one. And so here, as we go out, we're down to our last minute or so. You and I had talked at the break about you playing the first song you ever wrote.
Yes, the first song.
What's the name of this one?
I'm Falling Free.
All right.
Yeah, so here we go.
Well, how old were you when you wrote it?
20?
All right, man.
I'm falling free. I can hear you calling me to ride the country wind that brings me home to you. That brings me home to you. It's the only road I know. No fancy cars and no picture show. The river drives your soul, and there's never nowhere to go. And I'm going back to my country home, where my childhood dreams took me so far away. And I'm going back to stay, 'cause I'm falling free. I can hear you calling me to ride the country wind that brings me home to you.
All right, man. That's lovely stuff. Great. Thank you so much, Alex.
Absolutely.
And plug your next gig. How about that?
The next gig will be, the public gig will be at the Bistro Beaujolais.
Okay.
Over at the Carmel Plaza, and that'll come up on it's either the 18th, the 19th, or 19th and 20th. It's a Friday and Saturday of next month.
And they can contact you at 831-402-0869.
That's it.
Have him come play for a private party or something such.
Right.
Alex, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you got
Thanks,
it. And now we're going to
appreciate
go play golf, everyone. It's nice to have been with you.
Nice.
This has been a fun group of segments on Your Town. Have a great month. Y'all take care.